on the next Oprah, Shipwrecked and Survived.
Let's all of us think about this for a minute. Imagine falling asleep for 29 years and then suddenly waking up. That's exactly what happened to my first guest. Now she's trying to catch up on everything from Nixon's pardon to the Vietnam War to microwave popcorn. She is here today with the man who stood every day by her side for the past 29 years. Plus, absolutely nothing makes me happier than putting our reunion shows together. It gives us a chance to bring people together who felt that they were lost to each other forever. And it's easier and cheaper than you might think. And we're going to show you how today. And it's all next right here on the Maury Povich Show. On November 22nd, 1963, as we all know, the world lost John F. Kennedy. That same day, Marilyn lost her mother. Martin lost his wife because Ann Shapiro had a stroke that afternoon. And for nearly 30 years now, she lived in her own private world, a place somewhere between being alive and being asleep. She was in a coma-like trance, unable to talk, not knowing what was happening around her, unaware of how much the world was changing. And then, in October, less than 2 months ago, Annie suddenly woke up in her hospital room. She spoke for the first time in 29 years, telling a nurse she had a headache. She also told her husband, Martin, that it was 1963 and that she had a good night's sleep. Imagine missing all that has happened in the last 30 years.
It's one small step for man.
Oh, baby.
Resignation.
On the radio.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Panic, complete panic.
The HIV virus.
Well, we can just be exhausted looking at all that, and Annie Shapiro has missed it all. Now, we want to say right now that sometimes Annie still thinks it's 1963. Sometimes she thinks it's 1992. She kind of goes in and out. But her husband, Martin, is here, and I've got to ask you, Martin, what was the first thing Annie asked to do?
Martin, turn on the TV. I want to see I Love Lucy.
That was it? You liked I Love Lucy, right, Annie? Yeah. Yeah. Did you believe all this were you there when she spoke for the first time?
I wasn't there. My father had called me. We were in Toronto, Ontario, watching the ball game before the World Series. And all of a sudden the phone rang at around 11:30 at night. And he says to me, I don't know what's happened with your mother. She just hasn't stopped talking. She's been talking a blue streak and just carried on. And I didn't know what he was like in tears.
All right.
So I told him to put my mother on the phone. And she got on the phone and she started talking to me. And truthfully, I couldn't believe my own ears.
What was she talking about?
She wanted to see relatives. She started to say that my father threw my brother out of the house, that he had had an accident the day before Kennedy's assassination. And after this, she said that Marshall had left and he's not coming home, and he wanted my father to go and get him and to call him and whatnot. And she was just like frantic with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And before we knew it, I kept on yelling to my husband at the time, go pick up the phone, because I wanted him to hear what was going on.
Yeah. Hi, Annie. How are you? How do you feel?
Not too bad.
Not too bad? Yeah, well, that's good. When do you what year do you think this is right now?
I have no idea.
That's right. Sometimes I don't know myself, Annie. Believe me. Did your husband and daughter tell you about everything that you missed? Do you know that there's a man that's landed on the moon? You know that? Can you imagine? Very difficult to imagine. Do you know where Vietnam is? No. Right. What do you remember? Do you know? Yeah.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? When we come back, we're going to find out what Annie does think of our world in 1992, what startles her, what she likes, what she doesn't like, and we'll find out that from her husband and her children, and maybe Annie when we come back after
this. French Vanilla Cafe. Rich, creamy tasting coffee with a kiss of French vanilla flavor. Coffee so enchanting, you'll fall in love. French Vanilla Cafe. More than just a cup of coffee.
I'm about to introduce you to a brand new cereal. But before I show you what it looks like, I'd like to show you what it tastes like. Home-baked banana nut bread. If you'd like a slice of this, you're going to love a bowl of this. New Banana Nut Crunch cereal. Real banana baked into crunchy oat clusters and crispy wheat flakes with chopped walnuts. New Banana Nut Crunch from Post. For home-baked taste in your cereal bowl.
Yoplait. Calcium-rich, active yogurt cultures. 99% fat-free. That's why Shonda Sawyer does it every day. Smooth, creamy Yoplait. Do it for you.
There you go. At work, I sell the finest from the deli.
Rich is the name.
At home, I serve the finest. Eckridge Cold Cuts. Eckridge starts with the finest cuts of meat. Then they take the extra step of packing their cold cuts seconds after they're sliced to seal in the flavor. It's that extra step that makes the taste of Eckridge the finest from the deli.
Look in this Sunday's paper, June 27th, for valuable coupons good on Eckridge products.
Some things you wouldn't want slightly damaged. But right now at Big Sur Waterbeds, you'll save on slightly damaged and floor model waterbeds. A minor flaw means major savings during the spring clearance sale at Big Sur Waterbeds, 430 Coliseum West in Fort Wayne.
Jump into big savings at Kids Beds. Daybed frames start at $29.99. Bunk bed frames are as low as $179.99. We've got over 100 beds for kids of all ages at Kids Beds. Kids Beds next to Big Sur Waterbeds.
In the break, I asked Annie, I said, if you don't want to be startled by this audience is just so in love with you, and they're just interested in your story. And she says, I'd be interested too. This is a real-life Mrs. Rip Van Winkle, believe me. Ann Shapiro had been in a coma-like trance for 29 years. She came out of it only several weeks ago. And joining us now is Ron Leitner, who is a family friend who has chronicled Ann's amazing journey back to the living. Why would you think it's so unusual? I mean, I think it's spectacular. I mean, miraculous.
Well, Maury, I'm a syndicated writer, and I work for the London Mail and Sunday in London, England. I go all over the world on the world's biggest stories. And I heard of this from my sister in Canada. Heather Sherman called up and said, "This amazing, this woman has come out of a coma. She's been comatose for 30 years. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. And I had dinner with her one night when I was in Florida, and she was a walking zombie. They took her out, put a towel around her. She had to bend over. She couldn't move her eyes. They put a spoon in her hand, and she just put the food into her mouth and would fall out like a little helpless baby. And now the woman's up and talking, and she woke up, and it's an amazing story. Yeah. And
I'll tell you, as not equally, but talk about perseverance. I mean, Martin, you took care of your wife every day for 30 years. I cannot believe that you would do that. Lesser souls, Martin, would have given up a long time ago. What made you go on?
Without bragging, when I got married on Christmas Day, 1935, I made a vow forever. I made a vow forever. There's a lot of trouble in the world with marriages. And when the rabbi said to us under the chuppah, "Lass uns sein gesinnt," let us all be happy and healthy. Well, it just so happens the healthy part was only a 50% portion of the marriage ceremony, because I wound up healthy. Annie went into this travel, I should say,
journey, whatever you want to call it.
Went into this travel, this journey, and I thought it was up to me. I took care of her, I washed her, I bathed her, I cooked, I cleaned, when I had to feed her, if there was medication that was necessary, putting it into her eyes, because she suffers from doll's eyes.
Right. That's why she wears the glasses she does, and the power is so thick.
And the outcome of doll's eyes, that if she raises her head, her eyes go down. Yeah. When she lowers her head, her eyes go up. There is no peripheral vision on either side.
So she can't really see what is going on. And this was the cause of her with the eating, when you normally would put your head down to pick up a spoon, or your eyes down to pick up a spoon or a fork.
Martin, why do you think all of a sudden one day in a hospital room she started talking? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. We took her in on October the 12th of this year to St. Mary's Hospital in West Palm Beach, Florida. She complained about chest pains. Well, it happened that she wound up with a little bit of high blood pressure. They were giving her nitroglycerin patches on her arm, and it was causing headaches, and she couldn't stand them. And when she complained on the second day in the hospital, they removed the patches, and she felt much better. And when we took her home that same day, then she was more or less back to normal.
Ron, what have you found out about her? What have you found out about Annie? I mean, what does she react to? Like, are you kidding me? That's what they're doing now?
Well, when I started talking to Ann, she was much more lively. I must tell you, she's kind of going back into this. A neuropsychologist in Canada, Dr. Hans Kuchler, said that it's so frightening for Annie to be into 1992 with all these strange sights and sounds that it could drive her back. And he even actually feared a little for her life, because it's such a big shock. But the family wanted to let people know, because so many people throughout the world have someone in a coma, as someone lying in bed somewhere, and this can get them up, and not to pull the plugs, and people are still savable.
So you don't know if she's going to completely recover?
I don't know. Today, Annie's in 1963. And when I first talked to her, she was in 1992. And she seems to feel more comfortable as a 50-year-old rather than as an 80-year-old woman. If you asked her now, who's the president of the United States, Annie? Who's the president? Just take a guess.
Roosevelt?
Roosevelt. Close. Right century.
That's right. But some days she's very talkative, other times she goes back. And it's impressed me because I do hard stories, and this is a happy story.
Sure is.
One of the few.
We're going to talk about some of the things, for instance, that we take for granted that Annie, when she was talking a lot, found absolutely amazing. And one of them is color TV. We'll be back after this.
Michiana College graduates explain how Michiana College prepared them for a rewarding career.
I was prepared to handle the fundamentals of my job through mock office situations at school, and I was able to get a job on my second interview. Yes, I would recommend Michiana College to a friend, and I have before. I would recommend anyone thinking about going into a business career to look into Michiana College.
What you do today will affect your tomorrow. Take control of your future. Michiana College.
The real deals are here at Value City Furniture. This beautiful new Cradle living room sofa, love seat, and chair, not $1,000, all 3 pieces, $698. Jade finish bedroom, including dresser, mirror, headboard, and door chest, all 4 pieces, $498. Sleeper sofas, your choice, twin, full, or queen, $298. Fabulous 5-piece dinette, $168. Metal headboards, only $19.88. With any purchase, buy the 72-quart Igloo cooler below store cost, only $29.99. Gigantic store-wide savings now at Value City Furniture.
Hi, I'm Jim Mutton. For a quality-built tractor that doesn't cost a fortune, see the all-new Toro Wheel Horse Recycler tractors. These versatile American-made tractors are on sale from just $11.99 right now at Mutton's, with no payments or interest till October. And our factory-trained service and parts department will keep your Toro tractor running great for years to come. Toro lawn tractors from just $11.99. Buy today, pay nothing till October. Where?
Mutton Power Equipment. Mutton Power Equipment. Mutton Power Equipment.
If you've been hurt in an accident and call us, what do you get? You get a staff that keeps you informed, not in the dark. You get people who'll help build your case, people capable of telling your story to the insurance companies. You get our team of attorneys who help injured people every single day. But most of all, you get someone who cares.
The Lebemoff Law Offices, making the law work for you every day. Call 423-2581.
It's no secret that police officers in this country have a very tough job. They have to fight crime when they are outnumbered and outgunned, and they can put their lives on the line every day. Many say what makes their job even tougher is the gap between them and our young people. But police are trying to show kids law enforcement can help them. And Thursday on Liveline, we take your calls about the Respect for Law Camp. It's run by the Indiana State Police. Dial in at noon and ask our guests how you can help police help our kids. That's Thursday on Liveline on 21 Alive.
There are a lot of world events that Annie has missed, some of which we'd like to have missed as well. Others we were glad we were around. But there's also the advances, you know, the modern world. She is surprised, as I understand, by some of them, Ron. So why don't we go ahead? We brought some of them. This is the portable TV.
This is a little tiny television
little
set.
Tiny.
Watch this. See that?
Chris, if he can check on that for you, and we'll see what we can find out. That would be wonderful.
You like that?
Sapphire or the ruby.
You like that, huh, Annie?
You like it? Would you like one?
Do that. We'll look
You like it very much? I'll show you something else, Annie.
Yeah. This is something, the other thing, I'm glad, not that one, but this is something the insidious person
now, can you imagine
whoever
what this is?
invented this
This
thing,
is a telephone.
I hate them.
You can carry it anywhere. You can go.
Yeah.
Louder.
What do you think of that? Try, put it to your ear.
Where? How?
There's no chords. You can talk anywhere in the world with this.
With this?
Yeah. Isn't it small? And it folds up.
Now, and this is the one which you have shown her before that she really reacts to, huh?
Now, this is a CD player, and I'm going to put these onto you. Put these on the back of your ears. You ready?
Take a tight, Joe
Terry,
Terry, my director, going tight on this.
Start to listen. Do you like that? Would you like to go dancing? She wants to go dancing with Martin.
Yeah.
He told me he can hardly walk. He's had a hip replacement, and she's asked him every day to go dancing. I'll take this off you. Now, do you love Martin, Annie?
I sure do.
How much? How much do you love him?
I couldn't tell you how much.
When you think about this, Marilyn, I mean, here's your mother talking, understanding what you're saying. You were how old when she had her stroke?
I was just past 25, maybe 20, about that. And now, when I heard her talking, I mean, the first time when I heard her on the telephone, I mean, I just couldn't believe my own ears. I mean, for 30 years, I didn't really talk to her. I didn't have a mother. And it makes it very, very hard. And then when my dad called me that night, and he told me that he was having trouble with my mother, I didn't really believe him until I spoke to her. Yeah. And then the next thing I knew, when I came down the following day, because my dad had said to please come down to Florida, I came down, and I was with her the next day, and we were talking, we were trying to catch up on all the things that I've missed that a mother and daughter relation have.
Sure.
And then the next thing I knew, she was talking about death. And because look what she's putting all of us through, and my father and whatnot, and why couldn't she die? And this was the whole conversation. And then she wanted to know about other relatives, and we told her her sister had passed away and her brothers had passed away. And
as she seems to be slipping in and out of this, doesn't
Yeah.
talk as much. Does it bother you, or are you just grateful for these weeks that you've had?
Well, I'm grateful for all the time that I've had with her now. I mean, at least I know I've been able to talk to her.
Yeah. Tell her about your life.
I've told her about my life. I've told her she's got 5 great-grandchildren.
Yeah.
She has a brother in Canada, Marshall, who was going to come on the show today and suddenly walk in. But Marshall's doctor told him that she could have a heart attack and just drop dead from the shock. And so that wasn't done, you have to understand.
So, Martin, even though she's not talking as much as she did maybe a month or so ago, you're happy that at least you've had this?
And how?
I bet you are. And how? I want to thank you so much for joining us. Martin, you know you've had problems. Annie, you don't mind if I cut in on Martin, and as we say goodbye, you and I do a little... You don't mind, huh?
Go ahead.
You want to dance? Can I have this dance, Annie? All right. You okay? You okay? nothing more exciting than finding a lost loved one, and we'll show you how easily and inexpensively it can be done.
Buried treasures, buried bodies, child brides, exotic bazaars, massacres and mountaintops, jeweled crowns and golden daggers. You'll find all this and more in Lost Civilizations, new from Time Life Books. A great adventure, all true. Here is your chance to discover ancient lost worlds. Meet Ramses the Great, who ruled 60 years and sired 90 children. Confront Aztec warriors, dressed to kill in the still warm skins of human sacrifices. Lost Civilizations takes you back in time and around the world as you explore the long-lost secrets of Peru's hidden cities. Learn little-known facts about the day Vesuvius roared and Pompeii died. Hear mummies speak through the magic of CAT scans and X-rays. Call now for your first book, Egypt, Land of the Pharaohs. You'll journey down the Nile, inside royal tombs, and into the intimate lives of slaves and pharaohs. You can explore Egypt free for 10 days. Keep it and pay just $9.99. Use your credit card and also receive this marble Egyptian paperweight, free. Other books will follow, one about every month. You'll transcend time and place, thrilled and awed by pyramids and palaces, Nefertiti and Montezuma, Machu Picchu and Masada. Call now for your free 10-day exploration of Egypt, Land of the Pharaohs. If you're looking for the experience of a lifetime, many lifetimes, read Lost Civilizations. It's got adventure written all over it.
Call 1-800-458-9993 to order Egypt, Land of the Pharaohs. Review it at no risk. Keep it and pay just $9.99. Use your credit card and also receive this Egyptian marble paperweight free. Other books will follow, one about every month. Keep only those you want. Call now.
How to give your family the moistest cake ever. Take a cake baked with an ordinary mix and dunk it. Or bake a cake with Duncan Hines Moist Deluxe Mix and give your family the moistest cake ever. It's lavishly moist, moister than any leading brand. In fact, this Duncan Hines Moist Deluxe cake is so moist, you can save the milk for their cereal.
How to bake your moist, delicious best.
Duncan Hines.
When we first started our show last year, we've got hundreds of phone calls asking us to help find lost loved ones. Well, things have changed a bit since then. Now we're getting phone calls, receiving letters from people who say they found loved ones on their own after watching our show, and that we did give out some inexpensive and quick resulting tips. And we're going to plan to do that again today with hopes that if you indeed are looking for a loved one, you might be able to find them on your own, maybe with a little help from us in terms of what to do. Now, Pam Casey was one of those viewers who watched the show one day during the year in Sacramento, California.
Last summer.
Last summer. And she decided to find the dad that gave her up for adoption. So what happened?
I had a Social Security number, and that's all I had. And I would write letters and get dead end after dead end, doing it on my own. And because of your show and because of Joe Culligan, the private investigator, I got his book. I ordered his book through your show, and I wanted to talk to him personally. So I called the publisher who wrote the book and talked to him, got a hold of him. He called me back, and I said, Joe, can I hire you? He said, no, but I'll help you find.
Joe doesn't like that.
Yeah.
He likes you to do it. He likes you to get the results inexpensively, and he's not inexpensive, believe me. My checkbook shows that. Go ahead.
So I finally got the book from, I ordered it in my area, and talking to him, and he said, okay, what do you have? I told him I had the Social Security number, and he said, turn to chapter 3.5, and he said, there's a company, it's called the Research Is Company, and I sent them $25, and I've been looking for over 11, 12 years, and it took about a month, and he had a name and an address and a telephone number, and the first 3 digits of the Social Security number, he said would tell me what state, and I was looking in Nevada, and my father lives in Arkansas, Louisiana. So I had the number, and initially I made the call. I didn't know what I'd find, you know, and my dad had a stroke last November, but he's doing quite well. But I didn't even know I had a sister who I've never met.
Yeah. And her name is?
Sharon.
Yeah.
Cher. She likes Cher. And she's 38 years old. And she's my true blood sister.
And you talked to her on the phone.
I've talked to her, yes.
And there's a tape of that call. You've never met her.
Never
just
met
talked to her. And this is what it sounded like on tape when Pam and Cher talked sisters for the first time.
This is a difficult call.
May not be so difficult as you think.
Do you know about me?
Yeah.
You do? Who am I talking to?
This is Sharon.
Do you know anything about Dixie at all?
Yes, I do. She's my mom. And I'm your sister. And you're my sister.
Can't believe it.
I can't either.
Shall we meet your sister?
Oh, where is she?
She's going to come out right now. Let's meet your sister. All right? This is Sharon. Where is she? Oh my golly, you brought presents and everything.
It's for you, love.
Oh my God, look now, you gotta look in the face. You can tell in the face. Don't they? You can tell it right in the face. They've lived a different little lifestyle, but you can tell it's right in the face, huh?
I know it.
Now, what is the gift you got there besides the flowers, Sharon? As we wipe away the tears, and I'm getting a little gushy myself
let me
here.
get it together. These are Pam's baby beads. Dad has hung on to some things from when she was a baby, and this is just one of them. I would like her to have them, and I've got some other things for later on.
Oh my golly, let's take a look at them. Oh my gosh, those little beads.
Her little
little
wrist
bracelet.
beads.
Every little girl had one of those little bracelets. Isn't that terrific?
Oh, you're
Look at
welcome.
this. Right? I know my sister had one of these bracelets. My kids had one of those bracelets. Oh, terrific. Now, before we get all these questions, look at it. How did you get split up? We got to ask that question.
Actually, it wasn't anything that was our choice. Pam was very tiny when she was born, and she was hospitalized for 10.5 months. And evidently, at that time, the cost of hospitalization and that sort of thing was exorbitant, I guess. And I'm not sure what all she needed. I'm sure a lot, you know, of care for that tiny of a baby. And evidently, it's just what had to happen, you know. They had to sign papers to have her adopted out because of the cost.
And you stayed with your father and your mother?
I was born 3 years later. I'm younger.
I see.
Pam never knew she had a sibling. She never knew she had a little sister. I've always known I had an older sister.
And what have your parents always told you about your older sister?
Just basically what had happened, you know,
That she was
had
adopted?
to have been adopted out when she was a baby.
And there was no attempt to search for her? Or?
Yeah, certainly there has been. My father has done several searches. I myself have done several searches. Thank goodness today things are more open-ended.
Sure.
You know, people can find each other easier. Being the ones that, the family side that adopted her out, basically it was closed to us. Any information was not available.
Look at the faces. I mean, if you just took the faces, huh?
She looks exactly like my mother.
Is that right?
She looks like our mom. Yeah. Yep, she looks just like my mom and her mom.
Some easy and...
Look at all these moles.
I always wondered where they came from.
Oh, boy, do you all have some catching up to do.
Yes, we do.
Face to face.
Yes, we do.
We're going to have some easy, some inexpensive tips on how you, too, can find a lost loved one when we get back after this. Deborah Huber of Madison, Indiana, was separated from her father 30 years ago.
I watched the Maury Povich show and took some tips off your program, and within 10 minutes and less than $10, I had found him.
The two were reunited this fall.
That's about all I can say is just thank you, because the program changed my entire life.
I keep your picture
It is official and duly logged.
close to
The first day of summer is here, which now gives you the undeniable right to kick up your heels, to take the scenic route, to relax with a pitcher of Country Time lemonade flavored drink mix with the taste of good old-fashioned lemonade. So celebrate summer's first day and the 90 or so others still ahead.
New Yoplait Light Custard Style. A rich new taste in light yogurt. Fat-free, only 90 calories. So it's light on your conscience. New Yoplait Light Custard Style. Do it for you.
Have you had it up to here with frying? Shake and Bake makes crisp, juicy chicken your whole family will love. Why fry? Shake and Bake.
How to give your family the moistest cake ever. Take a cake baked with an ordinary mix and dunk it. Or bake a cake with Duncan Hines Moist Deluxe Mix and give your family the moistest cake ever. It's lavishly moist, moister than any leading brand. In fact, this Duncan Hines Moist Deluxe cake is so moist, you can save the milk for their cereal.
how to bake your moist, delicious best.
Duncan Hines.
55, it's the law. At Tompkinson's, 55 is the limit.
Tompkinson Automotive Group has made automobile history again. $55 down, $55 per month. Every make, every model, regardless of what they cost. Dakotas, Sundances, convertibles, minivans, just $55 down, just $55 per month. Now through Saturday.
Don't pass this up at Tompkinson Chrysler Plymouth North and at Tompkinson Dodge Southwest.
Now's the time to save big. It's the Value Explosion Sale in Value City. Men's Adidas Leather Forum Light High Top Court Shoe, not $115, only $39.99. Women's Anye Sandals and Casuals, not $50 to $64, only $14.99 to $19.99. And a fabulous collection of women's name brand fashion sandals, not $17 to $40, your choice, $9.99. Don't miss the Value Explosion Sale at all Value City department stores.
Tomorrow, we never know what to expect from her next.
I did actually date Elvis.
Sybil Shepherd.
The only time I really get nasty and mean is when I'm hungry. And I think anger can sometimes really serve us as a good positive energy.
Plus, high-tech babies.
It took 3 people this time to create a baby.
Women selling their eggs tomorrow. These were a few of the reunions Jackie Pennington watched from her home in San Antonio, Texas.
I wonder if that could be me someday.
Using information from our show, Jackie finally met her father. They'd been apart for 37 years.
I'm finally whole. A part of my life has been restored to me.
Jackie's advice to others?
Don't give up, because it's the most wonderful feeling in the world.
That was one happy daughter who decided to find her own dad after seeing our show. And joining us now is another happy father, Harry Pugh, who found his daughter, Mary Kay, after following some of the tips that he saw on our show. Given by private investigator, author, and a fellow who helps us a lot, Joe Culligan, who's the author of You Too Can Find Anybody. Joseph, we should owe you a big round here. And it's true, because he does not believe in spending a lot of money, because he believes that you can do it without spending a lot of money. We're going to get to Joe and all the tips that he has in a moment. But Harry, let's talk about what happened.
Well, I've been very sick and been in hospital, and I watched your show regularly for about 3 or 4 years. And one day you had Joe Culligan on the show, and he said how easy it was, and I've been trying for 28 years. And I couldn't find it easy at all.
Trying to find your daughter.
Trying to find Mary Kay for 28 years. And I said, nothing can be that easy. But he gave a few tips, and he gave me the number to call for the book. And before I even sent for the book, I followed his first tip to a driver's licensing bureau. And I called she was in Canada somewhere, and I called Toronto, and I asked them for the information.
You're living in Florida.
I live in the south of Florida, yes, and I called Canada, and they sent me a form down asking as much information as I had. All I had was her name and her date of birth. And about 5 days later, I had an answer back giving me an address and no telephone number, just an address. So I called Directory Inquiries in the city of Windsor, where she was, and they gave me a telephone number. I couldn't call it. I waited about 6 or 7 hours and finally plucked up the courage to call. And Mary Kay answered the phone. It was absolutely amazing. It really was.
Yeah.
It cost me $8. $8. And after 28 years, it cost me $8, and I just cannot thank Joe enough.
Yeah.
He's worth $1 million, Joe.
Oh, thank you. So, Mary Kay, you get this call out of the blue.
Out of the blue. My heart stopped beating. I was completely shocked. I was also at the time 3 months pregnant. And I said to him, I have to sit down because I have assumed he's been dead, actually, for a long, long time. I was a baby. My mom remarried, and the man she remarried adopted me as his own, so I just didn't even know that he was around.
What did your mother say when you told her?
She doesn't know yet.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't told her yet.
I think she knows right now, probably. Somewhere she knows. Any other sisters and brothers?
Yes, I knew I had one sister, but I haven't seen her for about 15 years, so I got to meet her.
Right.
And I also just met a half-sister.
Right.
So
and you brought her down to, what was the reunion? You brought her to Florida.
Well, I said, well, you know, either I have to come up there, but it would be better if you came to Florida because you've got your sisters here. So I put a couple of tickets in the mail at the first available date they could come. And the plane arrived. I'm pacing around the airport, and the plane arrived, and I just stood at the end of the jetway, and you lose a 1.5-year-old daughter. Right. Suddenly a big...
We're watching it right now.
Suddenly you get a new son-in-law. Your daughter is absolutely gorgeous, and a grandchild.
On the way?
Yeah. That's an instant family, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay, Joe, how do we find our loved ones?
Well,
Inexpensively. Give us some tips.
It's public information. As I said last year, people just don't realize that you can run a driver's license.
Whose driver? How do you know that there's a driver's license? Whose driver's license do you run? Your own?
No, in Harry's case, he knew his daughter's date of birth, and he ran the driver's license, and it was as simple as that in
So
his
if
case.
you know your date of birth, you just call up the license bureaus?
Even with that, well, you don't really call. If you don't have a date of birth, what you're going to do is just send away to the motor vehicle department and ask for an approximate year of birth for all the driver's licenses for that. But then if they don't have the driver's license with the current address, you can use auto registrations.
Or there's the Social Security number, the way Pam said, those first 3 numbers give you the indication of the state.
Yeah, I listed
the
in
area.
my book all these Social Security numbers where you can do it. And then you can run auto registrations to get a more current address, because that has to be renewed every year.
Voters registration,
Voters
same
registration will give you an exact date of birth if you don't have it. Property records will show you the exact location of somebody. So it all works out, as you can see in Harry's case and Pam's case.
Right. When we come back, another reunion after this. Vicki Teague of Deming, New Mexico used a tip from our reunion show and found her sister Paulette. The two met for the first time in July after being apart for 12 years.
If we hadn't seen it on your show, I'd still be looking for her. Thank you, Maury. You have made my life complete.
So, have you decided what you're going to do after you finish school?
Yeah, ITT Tech.
I think that'd be good.
You do?
Yeah, I talked with Kevin's mom. She says he loves electronics.
So will I.
She says he'll have his degree in 2 years.
So will I.
She tells people her son was smarter than she thought.
So will you.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-942-0088 for an informative brochure. 1-800-942-0088.
It's a waterbed special purchase from Big Sur Waterbeds. Just $299.99 buys your choice of any of these 9 quality waterbeds. There's one just right for your bedroom. Big Sur Waterbeds, 430 Coliseum West, just west of the Glenbrook Mall.
From tots to teens, Kids Beds has beds for kids of all ages. Plus, you'll find over 200 matching bedroom pieces, with more than 60 pieces priced at $97 or less. Kids Beds next to Big Sur Waterbeds.
Before you buy carpet, think twice. Right now at New York Carpet World, you get twice the carpet, twice the padding, twice the labor for one low price. How? By paying half price for everything. Yes, the carpet, the padding, the labor, all half price. Just think, you can carpet 2 rooms for the price of 1, 4 rooms for the price of 2. Carpet your whole house for half price. Incredible. Our warehouse is bulging with current premium carpets. So shop now. Get carpet, padding, and labor all half price through Saturday at New York Carpet World.
Watch this car get the show car treatment at Z-Bart Tidy Car and listen to what America is saying.
My car looks newer than it really is.
It's protected for as long as I own it and fun to drive.
It sparkles inside and out. Seems to run better, too.
Is there a show car like this in your garage? Bring it to Z-Bart Tidy Car and get the complete show car treatment inside and out and save $50. Give your car the look that lasts. Get the show car treatment only at Z-Bart Tidy Car.
At any given time, an estimated 10 million Americans suffer depression. Symptoms may include loss of interest in favorite activities, feeling sad, irritable, hopeless, low energy, difficulty making decisions, changes in eating or sleeping habits, thoughts of death or suicide. If depression is a problem for you or someone you know, help is available.
Call your mental health professionals at Koala Counseling Center, Fort Wayne.
Kathy Lewis last saw her daughters, Dawn and Paula, in 1973. Joe found both of Kathy's daughters, but only one, Dawn, wanted to be reunited on this show. She'll meet her other daughter later. But why did you try to find your daughters, Kathy?
Pardon?
Why have you tried to find your daughters?
Because there was always a part missing.
Of your life?
Of my life, yes.
Yeah. And you found Joe?
No, actually, I wrote your show.
Good, you found us.
Right. I was watching your show last year when you had reunited some sisters.
Right.
And I had tried several ways myself, like Child Find and other agencies, to find the girls, and always had a dead end.
Yeah.
So I had wrote to your show, and...
And what did we do?
Well, at first
I can't imagine what we did.
At first I thought it was another dead end until last Friday when I got the letter from your show for me to contact you.
Well, our producers are a little late in getting back to you. So we got back to you and we said what?
They told me that they were close to finding one of the daughters and would I settle for one? And I said, yes, I would settle for one because where there's one, the other can't be too far behind.
Right. But this was a very traumatic experience because your daughter, Dawn, who we're going to meet, was a product...
Of a rape.
Of a rape.
Yeah. And the man that took her had no right to her. And the police would not do anything. FBI would not do anything. And I always felt that he had no right to her.
Yeah. This is the person who...
Who had abducted her and her sister.
Right. It's been how long now?
It'll be 20 years in May.
She is all grown up now. And,
I imagine.
Right, and she is a mother now of 3 of her own children. You are a grandmother of 3. Please welcome your daughter, Dawn.
She's so pretty.
Yeah? Well, what did you expect with that smile of yours?
I wasn't sure.
You weren't sure? I could have told you. I could have told you 2 hours ago.
But you didn't.
I know. Is she marvelous? Do you see you in her?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I bet
Yes.
you do. I bet you do. You wanted to be reunited with your mom?
Yeah.
How come?
I just wanted to know her, who she was.
What were you told when you were growing up, Dawn?
A lot of things.
What?
That I looked exactly like her. My father told me the other day that if I see her, I'll be looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Are you glad you came?
Yeah.
Did your father want you to come?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Because they felt, my mother and my father both felt that there was a void in my life, that was, you know, something was missing, so they knew that once I found her that I would fill it up.
Yeah.
How did we do this, Joe? You know how we did this? Well, you probably did it.
We got the letter, and she had her ex-husband's name in there, and I ran a nationwide list of all the phone numbers listed to that name. In my book, I list the company that does that. I wanted to do it the quickest way because it was a really compelling letter, and I just wanted it done. So I ran all the list of the names, and I came up with 13 possibilities, and in the letter, it said that the man's mother's name was Anita. So we made 1 or 2 phone calls. Is your mother Anita? The man said yes, and then that's it, and then your show took over and made this reunion.
And I think in all, it cost $35.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
$35 to find your daughter. And we'll be back in a moment. We have much more. We want you to get a paper, pencil handy, and write down the number for Joe's book. We'll do that after this.
If you would like to join Maury in the studio audience, then call or write for free tickets. It's the Maury Povich Show, 221 West 26th Street, New York, New York, 10001. Or call 212-989-3622.
Hey, come on into Cub Foods, where one little packet of Kool-Aid is a whole lot of fun. Check it out. Wacky flavors. And Kool-Aid points you save for awesome stuff. Oh, yeah. There's vitamin C. And everyone gets a pink mustache. Kool-Aid brand soft drink mix. Now just $1 for 12 packs at Cub Foods.
Do you suffer from poor sleep, have a back problem, experience late-night indigestion? Niagara may help. The Niagara bed doesn't just lay there. You can raise the head of the bed for improved breathing and help your indigestion. Raise just the foot and help relieve back pain and improve blood circulation. Raise both for more comfort. Niagara beds have one-of-a-kind therapy massage motors that help soothe and relax you. Now, Niagara introduces computerized Tranquil Massage Motion, a gentle wave that moves from the feet to the shoulders, relaxing you after a hard day. Niagara beds come in all sizes, twin, full, queen, and popular dual king. For over 40 years, millions of people and thousands of doctors have used Niagara for relief and better sleep. Find out why.
Call now, and I'll mail you this helpful and important information. There's no obligation, so call now. We're waiting for your call.
Honey, you were right. These Niagara beds are great.
At work, I sell the finest from the deli. At home, I serve the finest. Eckrich smoked sausage. Eckrich is ground not once, but twice for the finest texture and taste.
The finest from the deli. Eckrich.
At work, I sell the finest from the deli. At home, I serve the finest Eckrich cold cuts. They're packed seconds after they're sliced to seal in the flavor.
The finest from the deli. Eckrich.
Let's talk about America, the land of the free and the home of the
TV. I'm talking the Bill of Rights, Article 5, Section 6, Paragraph 3. You have the right to rent to own any size TV. That's why we've got everything from a 13-inch to a 46-inch TV and all the ones in between down at your Get It Today store, RTO, rent to own. Right now, RTO's got a 27-inch tabletop stereo TV for only $15.99 a week. Free delivery today, $15.99. Look us up in the white pages under RTO.
Okay, everybody has pencil, paper, something like that. We want to give the phone number for Joe's book. You can, according to Joe, you think you can find just about anybody.
Yeah, we do it, as you can see.
I know. I mean, you haven't missed a beat with us.
No.
You can call this number to write for Joe's book, which tell me how much it is. I might as well say that.
$19.95 plus shipping and handling.
It's not too bad. 1-800-831-8900. 1-800-831-8900 for book orders only. We want this show to end now because, as we said before, Kathy has another daughter. Her name is Paula. She didn't want to come on. She didn't want to be in front of national TV, and of course we respect her rights for that. But you
I just want to thank you and Joe both very much.
Well, I know that, but this show's got to end because you've got to go see your daughter backstage, okay?
And I understand grandbabies, too.
There you go. Grandbabies, too, Kathy. So we got to end this show now. Thanks, Pam. Thank you, Cher, so much. Thank you, Dawn, Kathy, and Joe. Thank you out there, everyone. Who knows, you might be the next person to find that someone who's been missing from your life. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone, on television. Until next time. Tomorrow, making a baby the high-tech way. Should college girls be selling their eggs for money? Plus the irresistible Sybil Shepherd.
A promotional fee has been provided by Tetley round tea bags with more tea per bag and more taste for tea. But why is it round?
Klondike Light Bars. Great taste, less fat, 110 calories, and no sugar added thanks to NutraSweet. What would you do for a Klondike?
An international terrorist plot crumbles after a 4-month investigation.
Rebel Kurds overpower 4 European Turkish embassies.
And Hoosier Republicans make a successful bid for their budget bill. In the weather, hot and muggy. It is summertime in Indiana.
That it is. And on Live Line, a camp for youngsters to teach them how our law enforcement works.
It's all coming up next from the 21 Alive newsroom. Stay with us.
If you've been injured in an accident, call Blackburn and Green for help in settling your claim.
A message from Blackburn and Green.
Touchstone Pictures presents the year's Rock Till You Drop knockout. What's Love Got to Do with It? Rolling Stone raves and puts sizzle into summer. It's 2 thumbs up, way up, for hands down the rock and roll movie of the summer. Featuring Tina Turner's latest and greatest hits. It'll shake your head, rattle your heart, and roll your soul. What's Love Got to Do with It? Rated R.
Starts Friday, June 25th at a theater near you.
Mattress Warehouse has everything on sale. And Mattress Warehouse will remove your old mattress free when you buy a sleep set. Hurry this week to Mattress Warehouse and save.
The Philharmonic musicians present a benefit concert for the Old Fort YMCA sports programs with pop favorites from the musicians of the Fort Wayne Philharmonic, gospel works from the True Love Baptist Church and St. John Baptist Church combined choirs, and more from the choirs singing with the Philharmonic musicians. On stage at the Follinger Outdoor Theater, We Ain't Playing, Saturday, June 26th at 2:30. Admission is $5 with children under 12 free. Support the Old Fort Y and get your tickets today at all YMCA branches, Scott's Food Stores, or Rogers Markets. Co-sponsored by 21 Alive.
This is WPTA TV Fort Wayne, a Granite Broadcasting Company station. Your